Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we will be looking at the meeting from Fairview today on the Polytrack, the 25th of January. Already 30 days after Christmas and only 11 more months to Christmas. Wow, how time flies when you're having fun. Yes, I'm hoping today we will be able to give you a few more winners. As I predicted in my preview yesterday morning, I did say that Scottsville on Sunday would be very hard to find winners, and I proved to be right. Early on, there was one or two winners that decent prices, but after that, the wheels really came off. And as I suspected in the last race, I said to you that although my first choice was East Coast, whatever his name is, it is not a very confident choice, and I proved to be right. And 25 to 1 outsider came up to win that race. And this just proved how difficult racing sometimes can be. And sometimes it's just better to keep your money in your pocket. Unfortunately, I didn't follow my own rule, and I also lost not a lot of money, but money I would have rather had, liked to have back in my account. But yeah, you try, and it's one of those things. Hopefully today will be better. So we kick off at Fairview. But before I kick off, I just want to remind you guys that Saturday is the big race meeting in Cape Town. And for that race meeting, you have to get those selections and preview. You have to be a subscriber. So you can subscribe for now for the rest of the week for 200 Rand, or if you just want the selections on Saturday, that will then cost you 150 Rand. So if you want to subscribe for that, you can contact me on 083 585 5133. So we kick off with the first race at the Polytrack Fairview, which is a maiden plate over 1,200 meters, and the betting is as follows: 3 to 1 Autumn Sky, 4 to 1 Else Lass, 11 to 2 Red Rules, Camellia, 11 to 2, 7 to 1 Samaria, Gift of Peace 11, Good Vibes 11 to 1, Chrissy's Gold 14, and 20 to 1, and better the rest. Well, we kick off this meeting with not a very strong maiden plate, the fillies maiden plate over 1,200 meters. And I do advise you to be very cautious in this race. This race, the form is not very strong with respect to the owners and trainers in this race. But my first selection here is here down at the bottom, number 10, Good Vibes. I really see that this Louis the King, he is getting the winners. And my selection here is number 10, Good Vibes. This horse, if you have a look here, it doesn't show that like it's got a lot of form. But what caught my eye over the 1,000 meters was this 22.9 last time out. And that was even the ninth 400 to finish, ninth best. But 22.9, under 23 to 400 finish is not bad. And I think with the Gavin Smith stable in form, this 1,200 meters, this horse is has showed a slight improvement. And I've got a feeling that this horse is going to improve a little bit more today and can definitely be involved in the finish. And also the stablemate Gift of Peace. I also think that this horse only had 2 runs. Last time out ran in a juvenile and against Eternal Hope. Post-race distress coming back to 1,200 meters. Um, put into your quartets and trifectas. I do feel that they might be competitive. My other outside selection is number 5, Red Rules. That's an ex-Kenilworth runner, now running here. Yeah, so Flawless nearly won the other day. Kitty Cat Chat is also a good horse. And Two Pennies, I also believe, is going to turn out to be a nice individual. This horse is actually nicely bred. This Valor Reed has thrown some nice winners in her time. And I do believe that this number 5, Red Rules, can be involved in the finish. So watch out for that. The favorite is number 1, Master Autumn Sky. This horse has run well on the poly before. Last time I ran on the turf, but certainly not a good thing, not a horse type of horse that I would put my house on. And then here we have Els Lash, who's also Cape Town horse that ran a relative race behind Cinnabon last time over on the turf. Now the first time on the poly, so you'll have to see how he goes. But also a nicely bred horse, can be anything in this race, can be involved as well. So do include. Then we move on to race number 2. Now, race number 2 is a novice plate for fillies and mares over 1,200 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 1, Stage Dance, even money. Victoria Tower, 22 to 10. Mesmerizing Moon, 4 to 1. 12 to 1, Cinderella Beautiful, 14 to 1, and better the rest. Now, here, the number 1 horse, Stage Dance. Unfortunately, this horse has won 622 days last, but if you look at the opposition this horse has run against, let me just quickly run through it. Kayla's Champ, multiple winner. Shivers, good horse. Celtic Sea, I don't have to say anything. Snow Palace, I don't want to say, I have to say anything. Rios Winter, I think is now a 5 or 6 time winner. Gaelic Princess won 4 races in a row. A Wiley Wench, not a bad horse either. And I think Wiley Wench won on Saturday again. And the only thing that might be against this horse is the 1,200 meters. But I think in this field, that shouldn't be a problem. And I do feel that number 1, if this horse has got a fair amount of fitness, should be too good for this field. I've only picked 1 horse for the outsider selection because it's a small field, and that's number 5, Cider. This horse, Pierre Stradom and his father's horse, sometimes run decent races. Did win a maiden the other day, but I mean on the weight and merit rating is down. But being a small field, do include in your quartets. I don't say the horse can win, but certainly can be placed. So let's move on to race number 3. Here we have a 2,200 meters maiden plate. Let's look at the betting. Here we have number 2, Pacific Duke, 18 to 10, Chai, 28 to 10, Cape Bates, 33 to 10, 5 to 1, Mutbar, 5 to 1, 9 to 1, Super Noir, Double Cash, 14 to 1, Billy Ann, 14, 15 to 55 to 1, Trilini. Here again, another open race, and this horse, Mudaka, run on Friday, and it finished a dismal, way behind. It's difficult to judge this horse because I wasn't turf, now back on the poly, but I'm just thinking this horse might not be up to his game today. Surely, I'm not a trainer, but I would have been thinking to give the horse a rest after that run on Friday. But as I say, I'm not a trainer. Here we got one of the favorites, number 2, Pacific Duke. This horse finished 43 lengths behind last time. Wow, and surely going to have to improve quite dramatically, I would think, to be a factor here in this race. So my selection goes to number 3, Super Noir. It's a horse that is fit. This horse has run against some decent individuals, and I'm sure the 2,200 meters will not be a problem. And I'm looking for number 3 to stand in the number 1 box after this race. My outsider selection is number 4, Global Cash. I think in this weak field, this horse can definitely be improved and also be involved in the placings come the end of the race. 6 Chai is also a horse running there and thereabouts. That ran second last time out, but that was on the turf. Now back on the poly. Has run some decent races, especially this one being a Ryan Express. And Ryan Express has now won 3 races on the trot, 2 on the poly and 1 on the turf. And that is quite impressive. So I think number 3's biggest opposition can be number 6, Chai. And Billy Ann every now and then runs a decent race and finds herself in the placings. And I think today in this field can also be involved in the finish and in running into the placings. Here we have Cape Badger, Cape Jackson, also from Cape last time out, ran behind bad reputation, but was behind number 6 Chai, but has also got a small chance in this field. So let's move on to race number 4, which is a novice plate over 1900 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. And here we have number 5, Upper 10, 5 to 2, Waterfall 4 to 1, Gayloon 11 to 2, 11 to 2, Peter Duke, Bold Strike 15 to 2. There can only be one 15 to 2, 16 to 1, Market Day, and longer the rest. Yeah, guys, here normally you go for the top weighted, and I did a bit of calculations, and the top weight is number 9, Upper 10, which I do give a chance. So let's have a look at number 9, Upper 10. It's a 3-year-old, but therefore this horse can still be improving. Did win a maiden to beating Janet Abavi, and then Janet Abavi has did one after that, then 4 lengths behind Linda Lovelace, and then ran closer to Cara. So definitely, and as you can see, the average mean rate in this race is a 63, and this horse has run in a 64. So I think Upper 10 might have a decent chance in this race, but certainly not a sure winner. In this type of races, anything can happen. Then I also number 10, Waterfall, also have a chance. Also weighted to be second best weighted 5-year-old mare. But can be involved in the finish. This has had 2 runs, one on the poly, one on the turf, but can improve from there. And then my outsider selection in this race. Number 5, Market Day. I just feel that Market Day can also improve. Didn't run well behind Find Me Unafraid last time in a novice, but small field, and can definitely, last time I was a larger field, and I do feel Market Day might have the potential to be involved in a finish. And lastly, number 8, there can only be one. I think also has some potential and didn't run too bad on the turf last time, but watch out for this one. Can also come into one of the placings. Also very well bred, Captain's Daughter, twice over by Captain Elmi, Captain's Daughter. But let's move on to race number 5. Race number 5 is a merit rated 94 divided handicap, 1600 meters, class B, average merit rating 89. So here we have this very good horse, Dragon Moon, 2 to 1, 5 to 2, Green Dragon, Norfolk Pine 4 to 1, Double Up 4 to 1, Philos 5, 15 to 2, Dawnbreaker 12 to 1. Now, I still believe Dragon Moon is going to be a massive runner in this race. But once a horse has won 4 in a row, last time out, he just managed to beat Green Dragon. It's a shorter race. The pace is going to be faster. So you won over longer distances. But definitely he's got an in with a chance, that is for sure. But my choice goes to number 4, Doubler. Now, I'm sometimes, maybe I'm a fool, but I've seen many times in my life that horses win a race. And I never win a race for a year down the road. And then a year later, on the same day, they would win a race. So here we have such a case of Doubler. Doubler won 364 days ago. And this horse won, we have looked at on 27th of January, over the 1600 meters in an average merit rate at 75. Now today it's running here in 89, which is a little bit higher, but horse went well, kept going, and since then has run quite a number of places against Marmara Seas. Last time out running in a 93, now a little bit down in class. And I think Doubler can be a huge runner in this race, although I still believe Dragon Moon must have a massive chance, but my first choice is number 4, Doubler. For the outsider, I went with number 1, Dawnbreaker, because Dawnbreaker has also managed to run against some stiff opposition, and now also down in class and getting the -2.5. So I think there is a chance that number 1, Dawnbreaker, can be involved in a finish. Philo's always a horse that runs his heart out, not without a prayer either. Norfolk Pine from his last 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races, 4 wins. That's also not too bad. Can also be involved. So actually, if you go behind Jagger Moon, a very open race, but fortunately, a small field, so you can put in a number. Because Green Dragon was also beaten by Jagger Moon, and last time I came out and beat La Duchesse, which La Duchesse is a horse that I fancy later on in the day. So all in all, a small field, but a few horses with chances, I would think. Here we have medal rated 77 divided handicap race 6, class D, average medal rated 70. Let's have a look at the betting here. Here the betting is number 5, Sila Lyle, 53 to 10, reach for the line 9 to 2, up early 5 to 10, La Duchesse 5 to 1. Here's the horse I just spoke about. Let's Blaze 11 to 2, 7 to 1, Action Harlequin Jack 9 to 1, Medley 10 to 1, and 25 to 1, Masterful. And here we have race number 6. And my first choice is number 9, which is La Duchesse. As I just said, La Duchesse is now running in a 70. Last time out ran in a little bit higher against Green Dragon, getting the -2.5, so it's only carrying 49.5. And I think La Duchesse today will run a very big race here. Definitely will definitely be involved in a finish. A record on this course and distance: 4 runs, a win, a second, a third, and a fourth. So she's always either win or place over this course and distance. Number 9. Then my outsider selection is number 1, which is Let's Blaze. Also has been running well. Last time out ran on the turf, but now back on the poly. Has also run against decent horses like Norfolk Pine, which is running in a previous race. So I think Let's Blaze also capable of putting up a big effort in this field. And then my other outsider selection is number 4, which is Harlequin Jack. Did not run bad last time out behind Celtis. Was drawn 10 out of 13. And I think today with a better draw 6 can also show up in the placings. Number 4, Harlequin Jack, not to left out. Yes, number 5, Sila Lyle. Also ran a huge race last time out behind Bold Dreamer. Was involved in a close finish. I think it was like 5 horses within a length. So could have easily won that race. So also a horse that is capable of being involved in the finish here, Sea Lyle. In race number 7 is a medal at 68 handicap over 1,000 meters, class D, average medal rating 65. Let's have a look at the field. Number 4, Luminate 5 to 2, Provipoli 72, Natural Jade 72, Exaltations 5 to 1, 12 to 1, Latest Grace, Forest of Green 12 to 1, and Longer the Rest. And here my selection goes to number 7, which is Natural Jade. I think this horse has been running well behind a few nice runs behind Law and Order. And I think today finishing well, 23.2, 23.9. I think Natural Jade today is in here with a big chance, drawn 5, and I think will definitely be there when the photos are taken. But outside of selections, I only win for 1 horse, and that's number 8, Exaltation. I also think Exaltation can be involved in the finish. It's strange to see a 5-year-old is still a horse and not a gelding. But anyway, I think if they want to go and breed with this one, it's going to have to win a few more races. But it's just my opinion. But number 8 just run well against Takagul. Takagul has won a few races in PE, and I think Exaltation can be involved in the finish. But also a few horses of chances. Number 4, Lumiere, also done nothing wrong, can also be in the finish. Did finish behind Natural Jade behind the race in Law and Order. And finished second, and Luminate finished third. Another horse that this can also include in your opinion is number 1. This horse really won a maiden quite easily, although that was not a strong field. But getting the -2.5 would certainly be to his advantage. So do include into your play. Then we want to race number 8, which is a medal at 68 handicap, 1300 meters, class E, average medal rated 62. Here the betting is as follows. Number 10, all in line 3-1, Chichu Magic 9-2, Cherry Pop 5-1, Cloud Atlas 6-1, Basilico Santo 8-1, 10-1 Precious Stone, and 11-1 and longer the rest. Here my selections is number 8, number 2, Cloud Atlas. This horse, if you can see, this is an E62. This horse has been running against 82, 71s and wasn't overshadowed. And I do believe with the -4, Cloud Atlas today, a huge runner, currently 6-1 guys. Can take a few each ways on this horse, because if you have a look at the form is not bad, and definitely running down in class today and getting the -4, I think will be hard to beat. And then my outsider selection is number 3, Cherry Pop. Also a horse that's always there and thereabouts. Been running constantly in the placings, not to be left out. My other outsider selection is number 11, Western Aces. Export Peter running in first time here. Getting the -1.5 +1. So it's carrying 52. And I do believe that this horse has also been running against some strong opposition. Can definitely be involved in a finish in the back ends of your quartet and trifectas do include. And I just want to mention number 5, Lotus King is getting the -2.5 drawn free. You can ignore that last run behind Bold Dreamer. Nothing went wrong. We also have a small share, Lotus King, my syndicate. So we're hoping for a better run. And I can tell you the trainer is going to let a horse run freely, so probably going to be up there on the pace. Last time it didn't jump too well, and then everything went wrong. So take a few each ways. On number 5, Lotus King, currently 25-1. I'll be shouting for this one. That brings us to the end of our preview, and I hope I could point you in the right direction, maybe having a little bit better day than yesterday. And as I always say, break a leg.